Do you want to do the intro or you want me to do the intro?
What's the intro?
Did you even pay attention? Did you even listen to our podcast?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Long Way Home. The Long Way Home? Do we say the or just Long Way Home?
The Long Way Home.
I know, but is it The Long Way Home or is it Long Way Home? I feel like it's just Long Way Home.
I feel like it's The Long Way Home.
Yeah, but if you look at the name of our podcast, it's called Long Way Home, not The Long Way Home.
But do you take Long Way Home or you do take The Long Way Home?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Long Way Home, a podcast about when you just want to spend a little bit more time with someone, you take a little detour in your life.
You take The Long Way Home.
Thank you so much for finishing that.
Home.
My name is Jackson.
My name is Mela.
And we are back for another week after our rousing success last week,
Woo woo.
which was not full of any issues or audio quaffs or quaff. Is that a word? Is that the right word?
I don't know words.
Quaff. Well, yeah, you're like probably the last person I should ask in terms of that.
I don't know. Lumina's pretty up there.
Lumina? Well, Lumina's just special, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, we're so excited to be back. This is something that I was looking forward to all week. I don't want to speak for you, but
I'll speak for me.
You'll speak for you?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. We were really excited to and it's funny because we had a topic in mind. Because the first episode we wanted to spend sort of talking about us and like how we met and stuff. And we wanted to talk about music. And we still are going to talk about music. But some events have transpired today, in fact.
Truth.
I guess we should just get right into it, yeah?
Yeah, what happened to you this morning, huh?
Well, it was a little bit of an interesting morning.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I want to acknowledge maybe the elephant in the room and the fact that we are in a different room right now.
There's no elephant in it, though.
That's true. Is this a cow? Is this supposed to be a cow?
That is a cow, and there are many cows in this room.
It don't have udders, though.
If you look around, there's also...
Oh, I thought when you said look around, you meant look around on the cow for udders.
There's also 4 cows above you?
Do you have an obsession with cows?
No.
Maybe?
No.
Un poquito?
No.
Is that how you say a little?
No.
In French? I mean, Spanish. That language is Spanish. Un peu. Do you remember when we used to go to bed every night? I used to speak some French to you and you used to speak some Italian?
No.
What happened to that?
I turned to English again.
Anyway, so yeah, something happened this morning. You want to tell this story? I guess I should tell the story.
This is your story. I'll butt in for parts that I come up. But,
okay,
but,
so
it's you.
I have a car.
Truth. Congratulations.
My car, well...
Do you still?
That's a great question, actually. I'm not sure if it's still functioning. I have a car. His name's Brad. He's absolute legend. The only reason why he's called Brad is because I wanted to name him Chad. And I was on the ride home with one of my friends, Cole, in high school. And his car's name was Chad, which, by the way, if we're talking about, like, shit boxes, I know we were talking about shit boxes the other day. If we're talking about a car that's an utter shit box, I get it, cow pun, an utter shit box, Cole's car was a shit box. But his car's name was Chad. And I was like, but I want to name my car Chad. And he's like, well, you can't, because my car's
How
name is
dare
Chad.
he? Like a cow pun?
So I was like, well, you know what? Dairy?
How dare he? That was an utter slapper.
An utter slapper?
It's utterly good joke.
Okay, we're just going to move on from the cow puns.
We're going to move on?
Oh, no. Anyways, so I was like, well, if you're going to call your car Chad, I'm going to call my car Brad. Mm-hmm. It's one of those names where I hated it at first, and my mom was like, that's a stupid name for a car, and now it's just... You can't escape it.
Truth.
He just is Brad. You look at him and he's like, yeah, that's Brad right there. Anyways,
it looks like Brittany to me.
That car's been through a lot, you know. I also realize sometimes that there are where there's like 2 or 3 seconds of silence, and it's because you and I are sharing some sort of glare across the room, even though I cannot see you right now.
No, you're just glaring at me, and I have a smirk.
I can't see your smirk, though, because your microphone's in your face. All right. Well, that one wasn't very nice. Anyways, so this morning we woke up quite early because we both actually work at the same place. And it's about, like, on a nice day, a 45 to 50-minute drive. On a snowy day, which it snowed a lot last night. And not only did it snow, but it was like wet, sticky snow.
Yuck.
And so that ups the commute to an hour, if not more. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, I need to leave early. So I got ready. I took a shower. You went outside and were lovely, and you cleaned off my car, which was very kind of you. And then I went off on my journey and had no traction issues whatsoever. I get on, so I drive for maybe 15, 20 minutes, no issues. I get on the highway to go towards my place of employment. And maybe 30 seconds after getting on the highway, I feel some resistance in my car. Now, my car is an all-wheel drive, right? It's an SUV. And in all-wheel drive cars, it has that sort of traction support with the wheels where it will lower the amount of power going to each of the wheels, so that it can sort of stabilize before letting you drive again. And I think most cars actually have this. But for my car, it's connected to all the wheels, whereas like for your car, you only have power to 2 of your wheels.
Right.
But the light, so there's supposed to be a light that comes on. The light didn't come on. And because it was so snowy and like gross out, I couldn't feel it turn on because I just had no traction. Mm-hmm. I felt the car lose power though. Like I felt like the RPMs go down. So naturally I put my foot down a little bit more because I was like, I'm curious as to what's going on. The traction support then turned off, thinking that I had regained control of the car, which caused, because my foot was further down, caused my car to rev up. And I went for a little spin, went for a little doopsie daisy, a little turnaround, a little run around, you know?
Yeah.
Ooh. And I slid off the road pretty fast, going probably maybe 50 miles per hour, which for sliding off the road is faster than you should. I crashed through at one confirmed signpost, possibly 2 signposts, but at least one confirmed signpost before I came to a rest in this like little snowbank in the median in between the highway. Probably about 2 feet away from the guardrail that separated the 2 different directions for the highway. It was really scary.
Yeah.
So I have never been in an accident before. Like I'm a pretty safe driver. I'm a pretty good driver. Even in the snow, I've been fairly good, fairly competent. It just kind of came out of nowhere. It was super shocking. And it didn't really hit me until we got home what had happened. But I just kind of sat there for a minute. I was like, what the fuck? And so I turned my car off. And I immediately called you. Mm-hmm. And I actually texted Catherine before I called you because I was like, hey, I'm going to call you in a minute. Something happened. I might not be able to make it to work because Catherine's one of our coworkers.
Right. Shout out Catherine.
Shout out Catherine. We love Catherine. And I wanted to let her know that, hey, I've just got in an accident. I'm not going to be coming to work. And so I called you and I let you know what happened. And then I called Catherine. I let her know what happened. And then I called our work. And I talked to someone who was there already, and I was like, hey, I'm probably not coming in. And then I called state police to let them know so they could come, like set up like an area so I could get out. And then I called the tow. And in all of these phone calls, it like hadn't really set in the fact that I just like, I was very lucky.
Yeah.
Right. There were no other cars around me. It was snow. So, like, if the snow wasn't there, like, obviously the snow is the reason why I lost traction. But let's say there wasn't snow on the side of the road, I would have gone crashing into the guardrail. But because of it was that wet, heavy snow, it stopped me.
Right.
Which I'm very grateful for. I'm very thankful for. So after I made all those phone calls, I got out of my car because I was like, all right, I got to see what the damage was. And, of course, I was up to, like, my knees in snow. I go to the bumper of my car, and mind you, brand new bumper, as in last year when I had my inspection, my bumper was like falling off.
Yeah.
So they're like, you need a new bumper. So I was like, all right. So it's a brand new bumper, completely fucked up. Like not, so when you think of like a car getting in an accident, you think of like crumpling. It was more because I hit the post at such a high speed. The post just like went through my bumper.
Right.
And so we don't know yet if there's any damage to the inside of the car.
Pending.
We'll figure out next week. But we got the tow truck. Well, the state trooper showed up, and he was not having a day. Probably because this is what his entire day was going to be, is just responding to accident reports.
Right.
But he was like, yeah, just get a tow truck here, whatever. You showed up, and you parked right in front of him. And then the tow truck came, and super weird interaction all around. I mean, he wasn't a bad guy, neither was the trooper. It was just like, I was super stressed, and I was hoping that these people were going to be a little bit more supportive, but they were, I don't want to say numb to it, but it's clear that it wasn't their first rodeo, and here I was sitting here like, this is my first time ever having to do something like this.
Right.
But the tow truck winched me out of the snow, and we ended up driving home. And other than the fact that my car's already a piece of crap, it managed to make it home, which was good. And so, that was the start to my morning. We got home, and it was maybe, 7:45, 8 o'clock?
In the morning.
And I remember I told you, I was like, it feels like it's 3 p.m. It feels like we've already just had a day.
Yeah.
Now, thankfully, I guess I've waited a long time to state whether or not I got hurt. No. Well, sort of. No. I did not.
Bumps and bruises.
Bumps and bruises. That's what I've been telling people. Bumps and bruises. I hit my head a little bit, so I've had a pretty bad headache. I've been resting all day because I just feel exhausted. Car accidents are scary, especially here in New England, where the weather is incredibly unpredictable. I mean, it's unpredictable wherever you are because weather is weather. But in New England, where we have 4 full seasons, it is constantly, like, it's not like the only thing we have is rain and wind. Like, we have snow, we have ice, we have hail, we have all that. This was a doozy. This was a lot. And you were incredibly supportive. And I appreciate how calm you were. And that was something that you and I talked about. So I think especially when you go through something incredibly overwhelming and stressful, having someone on the other end who maybe has gone through it before, but also is just able to be calm. In my opinion, I think hearing the calm is better than hearing panic. Yeah. Because I would feel so much better knowing that you felt like the situation was under control. Like, you knew that I was safe. We knew that, like, there was no immediate danger. Like, we knew everything was okay. And so having that stability, I think, is really great.
And, like, I have been in an accident, and, like, I've been there for other people in accidents and stuff. And so I was able to give you, like, little bits of insight. And it's like, hey, I remember asking you, like, have you ever been in an accident before? And you were like, no. And I was like, and so I was throwing pointers at you. And
yeah. And like, so I guess the one of the things I wanted to talk about this episode is we both had some crazy car mishaps. I feel like everyone's had some crazy car mishaps. Yeah. So the first week that we started this, so last week, I guess, I had a very crazy car day.
And you have been wanting to tell me this story for a couple weeks, and you just have not.
Correct, because I was going to tell you last week on the podcast.
I didn't even know it was about a car until you told me just now.
Oh, you didn't know it was about a car?
No, you told me nothing.
Oh.
You were like, no, you have to wait. And then I waited, and then it never happened,
and then I had to wait longer. Well, then I guess it's perfect timing that on the car episode we're talking about it.
Okay, spit it out.
Okay. So this was Wednesday of last week. You were at work. And you and I both were just, like, stressed about different things. So it was just a morning that was full of just, like brain going everywhere. And I was at home. This was the morning that I stayed at my parents' house.
Right.
And I had my guitar with me. And so I was driving back to where our apartment is. And I was like, you know what? I want to go to the lake. Because I always go to the lake to clear my head. And I was gonna go to the lake to play guitar, just to, like, experience the outdoors and whatnot. And the night before, or maybe 2 nights before, there was that bad snowstorm. There was a lot of snow on the ground. I think it was the night before because that was the integral part of the story. So a lot of snow the night before. I go to the lake. The usual spot I go to is plowed in. So I'm like, all right, I can't park here. I go further down the road, and I find there's, like, a parking lot next to, like, where there's a boat launch for the summer. And I was like, oh, I can just park in the parking lot and, like, go and sit by the edge of the lake and play guitar.
Right.
So I circle back around. I come back to this parking lot, and I see that there's another guy with like a bigger truck and like a snowmobile, and he was already in the parking lot. But the parking lot had not been plowed.
Mm-hmm.
So there's probably maybe 7 or 8 good inches of thick snow on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And in my head, I was like, well, that guy's a truck, and I have an SUV. I'll be fine in the snow, even though the lot hasn't been plowed. So I turned into it, and I drove into the lot with really no problem. Like, there's some resistance because I was driving on snow, but it was fine. So I parked. I probably played guitar for 20, 30 minutes, just chilling in the lot. And I was like, all right, you know what? I'm starting to get hungry. Let's head home.
Mm-hmm.
Turn my car on, which, by the way, took a while to turn on, as per the usual. I put it in reverse. I pressed on the gas pedal. My wheels are spinning around. Nothing happens. I'm like, oh no.
Mm-hmm.
So I do the whole, like, put it in drive, give it some gas to try and get forward, put it in reverse again to try and get some speed going out. It was not moving at all.
Of course.
Now, the guy in the truck with the snowmobile had left. He went, the lake frozen over. He had already gone out in the snowmobile. He'd been gone for 20 minutes. No help from him.
Mm-hmm.
So I get out of my car. Mind you, I'm in my sneakers, or like those shitty shoes that I have.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of like sneakers. They're loafers, maybe.
There's something.
I don't know what would you call them?
It's shoes.
I like, when I think of sneakers, I think of like basketball shoes.
Yeah.
But shoes is just not specific.
Tennis shoes.
They're not tennis shoes.
I just call shoes shoes.
All right. Anyways, I was in shoes and not boots, and so I was standing in the snow, and I was trying to dig my wheels out, but I didn't have a shovel. I didn't have anything. And so I kept trying to gas it. Nothing was working. And I was like, oh, shit. 3/4 of a mile down the street, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for walking in the snow, it's a lot.
Right.
There's a gas station. I was like, all right, in my head, gas stations typically have shovels. I'm going to go to this gas station, get a shovel, walk back, dig my car out. We're going to be right as rain, no problems whatsoever. Go to the gas station. I walk in, and there's no shovels.
Oh.
Now, there's a shovel for the gas station, and I was going to ask the employee if I could get it. He was turned around at the counter listening to music, like he had AirPods in, and I kept saying, hey, can I borrow? Nothing. I was like, all right, I'm not going anywhere with this.
Mm-hmm.
I walked 3/4 of a mile back to my car. At this point, I'm like, all right, I have a couple options. One, I could call AAA like I did today and have them tow my car out. But in my head, I was like, this is a self-inflicted problem.
True.
I was an idiot, and I thought my car could handle the snow, and it couldn't. I'm not calling AAA to help a problem that could have like, this wasn't an accident.
Yeah.
This was a poop in the pants.
Right.
Like, I could have went to the toilet and used the toilet like a big boy, but instead I decided to take a dump in my pants.
Right.
So
as one does.
As one does. I mean, you've done it from time to time.
I think you would do that more often than I.
We're not. No, we're not talking about the incident.
This is a story for another time.
In 2016 in Montreal.
Story for another time.
Anyways, no, story for no time. So at this point, I'm like, all right, well, I don't know what to do. So I called my granddad, who's on the way back from Boston. He was like, yeah, I can be there in 20, 25 minutes. I was like, great, do you have a shovel? He was like, no. I was like, all right, well, we'll figure it out. He has an SUV too, so he wasn't in like a truck or anything. He was also in an SUV. So I was like, all right, this is not going to work out. I go across the street and I start knocking on doors.
Like houses?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
To ask people for a shovel. Because at this point, I was like, I need something to dig my car out. So I started knocking. The first door I knocked, nobody answered. The second door I knocked on, a very nice lady came to the front, and I was like, hi, I'm right there. And I pointed up my car across the street. I'm like, I'm stuck and I don't have a shovel. Do you have a shovel I could borrow? And she's like, yeah, I have one in the garage. So she got a shovel for me. And she's like, be careful. I'm like, so I go back across the street and I start digging my car out. I don't know what this motion was for digging, but I started digging my car out. My granddad shows up. And he walks over. Mind you, I love my granddad. He's the sweetest human on the planet. But this man is like 76 years old.
Right.
And so he was trying to like scoop it.
With his hand?
I was like, Grampy, that's not going to work. And then the guy whose house I knocked on across the street who didn't answer came home. And he walked across the street. His name's Peter. He was super nice.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, seems like you're stuck here. And he's like, I saw you pull in before I left to go get groceries. And I was like, I don't know if he's going to be able to get out. Lo and behold, I come back and you're not going to be able to get out. And so he brought his shovel and we all were shoveling my car. And
Grampy's little hand scooping too?
well, so no, he stopped. At this point, he stopped and I gave him like an ice scraper and he was doing that. And so I hopped in the car and my granddad and Peter got at the front of my car and they basically said, gun it in reverse and we'll try and push it. There was a bunch of that. We all rotated positions so everyone got a chance to, and we couldn't do anything. Eventually, Peter went and got like some cardboard and put it underneath the wheels, which got some traction. Eventually, I was able to gun it and we were able to get it out. As we were getting it out, so Peter was like, all right, when you get traction and when you start moving, don't stop. Because if you stop, you're just going to get stuck again. He's like, but don't go out into the road. Because if you just gas out into the road, someone's going to come by and hit you. And so I'm gassing it. And finally we get it moving. Peter's like, keep going. And so I keep going. And then I get close to the edge of the road. And I'm like, all right, I shouldn't go anymore. And so I started slowing down. Peter was like, no, you're going to get stuck. And I was like, bah, bah. And then I accidentally put it in neutral, which caused it to stall out. I got stuck again.
Oh my gosh.
So we had to dig it out again. We put cardboard under. Finally, we got it out into the street. My granddad like held up traffic. Like he stood in the lane. He's like, stop. And we got my car out. And it was probably one of the most embarrassing things that happened to me, just because other times when I've had like car mishaps, it was like something happened in my car which caused something to go wrong, completely out of my control.
Yeah.
Obviously, until today, never been in an accident. I would like to believe that today was way more due to the conditions than to anything that I did.
Right.
But never before had I been in a situation where I needed to do something with my car because of something that I did.
Right.
Like getting it stuck in an empty parking lot full of snow.
Right.
And Peter, we shook hands. We talked for a little bit, and he went back to his house. My granddad came up to me. I was like, Grampy, my father hears none of this. Because I knew, and which my granddad probably wouldn't have told him anyways, but I was like, I know if you tell my dad, he will never let me live this down. He will berate me for all time. You got your car stuck in an empty parking lot.
I feel as though
snow.
he would not be as good of a dad if he didn't. If you let it go.
And I mean, you've met my father. You know exactly the kind of goofy man he is.
Of course.
So that was the story I wanted to tell you. And this was like 3.5 hours long.
Oh.
Like this took a long, which is why it was so like I got home and I was like, and yeah. So I have a bunch more of crazy, just weird stuff that's happened to my car.
Right.
Stuff that's happened since you and I have known each other. Do you have any car stories as well? I'm sure you have.
Oh.
Would you like, first, how about you introduce your car? Let's get a little character profile on your car.
Tilly.
Yeah, Tilly.
The mighty fine Tilly.
Mighty Fine, is that her title?
No, it's quite the opposite. I'm just kidding. I love her with all of my heart. Her story of how I got her originally was I was at work and my parents actually got the car. I, paid my part and whatever. I just didn't know what car I was getting.
Right.
So it was like a surprise. It's
I
didn't have the gender reveal. I just got the baby.
But like not even like, how some parents choose to not know the gender of their kid because they wanted to be a surprise. It's like, no, the baby, actually kind of what happened to me a little bit. Because remember, my parents thought I was going to be a girl.
Yeah.
So they had my name as Kate Elizabeth.
Yeah.
And then turns out I'm a boy.
Oh.
And now, of course, you just didn't know at all. And it was like the baby popped out and you're like, oh.
I didn't know this was even a thing.
It's a Tilly.
I don't remember a lot of it because I have quite the shallow memory.
No. What just happened there for a couple seconds? Did you space out for half a second? I don't know. Remember.
No, but so obviously I don't remember word for word. So if someone who's listening remembers this better than I do, then I would trust you.
Who would remember
I
it better
don't know,
than you?
but someone probably remembers it better than I do. Like if a friend is listening and was there as well, I'm sorry if I mistell this story.
Continue.
That was disgusting.
Okay. Quick sidebar. You burp more than any person I've ever met in history. But what's crazy to me is that this was not always the case. When you and I first started hanging out and when you and I first started dating, you didn't burp at all.
I withheld the
And then in the
air.
last month and some extra change, you have been the gassiest mother flipper this side of flipping Mother Earth.
Prove it.
What do you mean? You've been burping up a storm. The only reason you're not burping now, I was like, all right, don't burp the entire podcast.
You told me not to, so I didn't.
So are you purposely suppressing them?
Maybe.
Anyways, tell us about how you got your child.
Okay, so I was at work one day, and my parents my mom sent me a picture that my car was out front. She sent me a picture of
This is your car.
my beautiful car. She sent me a picture so I would know which one it was. And I was a lifeguard at the time, so I was on stand. I didn't have my phone, so she dropped the keys off at the front window. So she didn't give me the keys. She gave the keys to someone else. Someone else could have stolen this car. Luckily,
one of your coworkers?
Yeah, luckily I trust them like my family. So at the end of my shift, my best friend was Liz, and she was so excited for me to get this new car. And so when my shift ended, she actually came to the pool and sat in my car. I was like, I told her, I looked at her, I was like, Liz, I hate this car. I hated the car. I was like, this car's so ugly. It's the color red. Who gets a red car? Like
cars.
Sorry to all the red car owners out there, but it's not my first choice. And so I hated it. And I was like, this car, it's old, it's red, and the seats are leather and they're like tan.
Hey, don't knock leather seats. I got leathers. Wait, your seats are leather?
Yes.
I didn't know
But
that.
in Florida, leather seats is like
death.
living with Satan.
Your car was red, so it was already.
So it was not the ideal car for me. But I put seat covers on, and I just like
That's why I didn't know it was leather, because of the seat covers. That makes sense.
I truly made the car my own, and now like I cannot see myself driving any other car. That car is my life. I sometimes have had my entire life in that car. We talked about that the last episode. But I have been through quite a bit with that car, and I feel like there's so many memories in it because I got it my senior year of high school. So it was kind of
formative
like
years.
Yeah, it just was like that kind of that bit there. Her name is Tilly. Tilly the tomato. My friend Liz again was the one naming it with me, and I was like, well, I have to do something corresponding with the color because it's so outlandish. So she was like, what about like this reminds me of like a bloody tampon. And I was like, no, Liz, I'm not naming my car. I'm not naming my car after a
Tilly the tampon
used feminine product. And so I was like, well, tomatoes are red. And so I was like, well, if I go with tomato, then I have to have something else that starts with T. And the first name I could think of was Tilly.
Well, tampon starts with T.
Right.
Tilly the tampon.
But we didn't go with tampon.
I know. I'm just saying she could also be Tilly the tampon.
Maybe on some days, but not all the days. So Tilly the tomato, it is. So, Tilly is a wonderful car. Like, she is actually very much, like, she can withstand a lot. And I mean, before coming to New Hampshire, this wonderful area of New England, I didn't really have any issues. Like, I had, like, bits and pieces where, like, you know, it's an old car, but it was nothing, like, wild. I do have over 200,000 miles on her now.
Whew.
But when I got her, I think it was less than 180,000 miles. So
you put what, like maybe 30 into it? 35?
Something about that, which is a lot because I haven't had her for a very long time. I'd just be driving, man.
How many of those miles were from that infamous move?
1,300.
Well, yeah, there you go. Okay. I guess that key question was answered quite quickly.
Yes, we talked about that last episode as well. I'm trying to think what is a good story. I mean, since we've been talking about Liz, I was hanging out with her and a couple of my other friends, and it was time to go home at night, and so we were in my car, and she got sick like wicked sick, like started throwing up. And so Tilly, I have cleaned Tilly quite well, but she had quite the amount of vomit in her at one point.
Out of all the stories you could tell, that was the one.
We're talking about Liz, so hi
was
Liz,
the
I'm sorry,
segue?
Liz.
Yeah, by the way, good
Hi,
good
Liz.
on you for outing Liz on just bleh.
Yeah, whatever. It didn't matter.
That was not the story I thought of first when I thought of your car.
Okay, well, it's my car.
Okay, fine, keep talking.
Let me
I
finish
guess.
my story.
Fine, okay. I didn't want to interrupt you, but I did, so
Okay.
it's fine.
Anyway.
Not because I want to interrupt you, but, just because, I didn't like your story. So, this is kind of how I felt.
I didn't do this to your story. Anyway, moving forward. Like your car did not.
What do you mean it did not?
It was stuck in the snow. You had to get your grandpa to shovel with his little hands.
Okay, all right. Don't be talking about my grandpa
No, he
like
put in
that.
all the effort. He's lovely.
Yeah, he's great. Anyways,
Anyway,
talk about Tilly the tampon.
So I brought Liz to the back seat, and I sat in the back seat with her when we had one of our other friends driving, and we just drove super slow, and we were pulling off on like side roads when she really had to, get her stuff out. And we made it home safe. Like everything was fine. There were a couple piles of human
Excrement.
Yeah, in people's driveways, but
I guess excrement sounds more like she shat herself,
No,
which is not
it
the
came
case.
out the top. Sorry, Liz.
I would rather shit myself than throw up.
That's
I feel
another
like
story for another time.
You and I have talked about this before.
Yeah.
No, that's horrible.
Yeah.
I was hoping that this was going to be more like,
Well, I can do another sweet story after this.
Oh, okay, well, go
Okay.
ahead.
Oh, we're just going right into it?
Well, yeah.
Okay. So, I knowing that I got my car my senior year, I did a lot of senior year trips, and one of the first few things I did in my car was I painted my senior parking spot.
Right. I remember when you gave me a tour of your high school,
Mm-hmm.
you talked to me about how you guys painted parking spots, which
Yeah.
like the fact that you guys had like parking spots,
Mm-hmm.
because like me and Landon parked in pretty much the same spot every single day,
Yeah.
but it wasn't ours.
Right.
And also we didn't paint them.
Yeah. Our year was the second year of kids who ever did it. And so it was still a fairly new thing. And I believe they're still doing it as well because my little brother has painted.
Were they
the spot.
painted when we went down?
Yeah. It's just not every kid does it.
Right.
So not all of them are.
You
painted,
can
and it's a
know
new
so much
thing.
about someone's personality even if they don't paint it because you're like, that person's a coward.
Or they just,
Yeah, they're a coward.
no.
You know who you are, Terrence. Anyways, sorry.
So I was painting my spot, and my hands were covered in paint. I was also covered in paint because we were all messing around with the paint, and so there was paint all over my shirt, all over my shoes. That's why I don't wear my green Chucks because there's paint all over them. And they're also just not a beautiful color of green. But anyway, if you look in my car on the steering wheel, there's a big splot of paint on the steering wheel,
So really?
and it's purple, and I have yet to try to wash it off because it just is such a bittersweet thing to me. And that was one of those things where I was going to move on to a different car right before I moved here, but I sat in my car and I was like, I cannot get rid of this thing.
Just the memories in it.
Yeah, and that was one of those things that I looked at that and I was like, this is my car. So that's a very bittersweet one. And obviously, it doesn't mean a lot to most people, but I think it's a very sweet thing.
I
So.
think it also, like, not to be that guy, but if it means something to you, then who cares what it means
Yeah,
to other
of
people?
course.
That's sweet. Is the paint under, because you have a cover on your steering wheel too.
No, it's on like the emblem in the middle of the steering wheel.
Oh.
And like part of the emblem is chipped off and then part of it's purple.
Oh. I'll have to look at that the next time I'm behind the wheel of a Tilliford.
Of course. I didn't know she had a full name.
Tilliford, yeah. Tilliford the
The
tampon.
tomato.
The Tonto?
The tomato. I feel like Tilly is the tomato and then
Did you say tomato or tomato?
tomato.
You say tomato?
No, but right now I'm saying tomato.
Why?
Tilliford the
Because
tomato
you're wrong?
sounds better, but Tilly the tomato that's the vibe.
See, people pronunciate things.
Pronunciate?
People pronounce things different. Wait, why did you say
You said pronunciate.
Yeah, but it's not pronunciate.
It is.
It's pronunciate.
You pronounce
Oh.
You
Who's wrong
pronunciate
now?
wrong.
No, it's pronunciate.
Can I look this up?
Okay, while you look this up, which this is just an absolute waste of your time because I'm correct. People pronounce things differently here, and like we were having this conversation at lunch at my internship the other day, because like I say, I say room,
Yeah.
which I don't even perceive because that's just like, oh, my bedroom, but it's bedroom. Like you're supposed to say room, like a freak. Like I don't know who would say room when you could just say rum, but rum makes more sense.
Pronunciation.
Okay, play it for us.
It doesn't have a play.
It doesn't have a thing. Oh, so you can't prove it. Yeah.
No,
you could just be making it up.
The like pronunciation of.
So you can't use the word pronunciation. Now I don't even know what the word is.
The AI overview, it has like the like every piece of the word. Yeah. Get used to it. It's overruling everything. Anyway, apparently. It says pronunciation. So if you take pronunciation,
you trust AI more than you trust me?
Yeah.
Why?
You say things weird.
Okay, name another thing that I say weird.
Roof.
Broom.
No.
Broom.
The last time we talked about this, you said brum.
Brum. Do you have a broom?
Broom.
I guess okay. Yeah, but that's also just okay. There's no right or wrong way to say things. You say it the way it makes sense to you.
Unless it's you.
Okay.
How do you?
Okay, but that's different because
how do you say it?
Well, it depends. If I'm far away and I'm trying to get her attention, I say ma. If I'm next to her, I say mum.
Okay.
But mum is a word, like M-U-M. People will spell mom, whatever.
Okay, and how do you apologize?
See, but now we're getting into a cultural difference.
No, how do you say it?
You're making fun of me because I say things different than you.
How do you say it?
Sorry.
Sometimes,
but most of the time I say sorry. It's only if I'm feeling really Quebecois, I say sorry.
Okay. What about the day after today?
It will be Sunday. It'll be Sunday, February 22nd.
Yeah, but what do you say? What's the T word?
Tilly the
tomorrow.
Tampon. Tomorrow. Oh, is it crazy? People say things differently if they're from different places. What?
You started this conversation.
I know. I started this conversation by saying you can say things however you want to say them. And you're the one over here saying, oh,
I didn't say that. There's proof.
Anyways, going back to talking about our cars.
I have other car stories.
Oh, is it? I thought it was my turn now.
If you want to. Do you have another car story?
I wanted it to be my turn.
Okay, have your turn.
I have a story about your car.
When there was water?
Oh, well, that is also a funny story that I haven't thought about in a while.
Yeah.
So, man, that was a while. That was what, like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago?
Something like that. It feels like longer ago.
Feels like longer ago. So, we have, because we don't trust the tap at our house, we have like this bubbler upstairs that we get, like, you know, like you see in like an office, like one of those water bubblers. I know you know what it is, but I'm explaining it for the people.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? We're on a podcast right now, in case you didn't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Move on.
Anyways, so the bubbler, we have like those bubbler jugs, and bubbler jug, that's funny. Anyways, I went to the store to get a new jug for it, and I filled up, I had 3 of them, and I put them in the car, and I put them in the back seat. And I didn't strap them down. I thought they were heavy enough that they wouldn't tip over. I'm pulling off the highway to get to our house. And, you know, I'm coming to a stop and I turn the car a little bit. And all of a sudden I hear, what that? And I'm like, oh no, the top must have blown off of one of them. So, because I was stopped, I look behind. Water was just pouring out of one of the jugs. And so I frantically pull over to the side of the road, jump out of the car. By this point, at least 2.5 gallons have come out of this jug because they were 4-gallon jugs and it was almost empty. So at least 2.5 gallons of water. And for some reason, your car just like, instead of it like pouring out or seeping into the carpet, it just sat there like a pool.
It's a Floridian car.
So it's just, it's amphibian, I guess, or amphibious. Is that what they call like vehicles that can go in water? Amphibious vehicles.
Yeah.
Do you guys have those? Like the duck
Amphibians?
boats. You know what a duck boat is, right?
Yeah.
Do you?
Do you know what an airboat is?
Okay, we've had this conversation before. Airboats are like the ones with the giant fans on the back, right? Do you have duck boats in Florida, though?
Maybe. I don't know all the boats.
Okay.
I'm gonna look up a picture.
Look up a picture of a duck boat. It's a very New England thing, so I don't know if it's a Florida thing. Anyway, so I drove home, and this water was just sitting in like the passenger side. It was
What
just
is
collected
this?
there. Yeah, a duck boat. You never seen a duck boat before?
Oh,
Yeah, they're like, so basically, whenever like a Boston team wins a championship, they'll go on like a big duck boat parade. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that's a duck boat.
but there's also this picture of like a normal boat that they're also calling a duck boat, and I've seen those.
Yeah, no, a duck boat, like for New England, a duck boat is like basically a bus that on the bottom of the bus, it's a boat. And so you can drive it on the road and then you can like go really fast and then drive into the water.
That's really strange.
Yeah, that's so you've never heard of that before. That's like
I've heard of it, but I didn't know it was such like a normal
that's an
thing.
amphibious vehicle. So that's a vehicle that can go on land and water because amphibians can go on land and water.
Right.
Like frogs. You know, frogs,
Yes.
they're amphibians.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Uh-huh.
So are alligators, right? Or are they reptiles? Are gators? What is the difference between an amphibian and a reptile? Is it the blood? Aren't reptiles cold-blooded and amphibians are warm-blooded? Is
Sure.
that what it is? Do you actually know, or are you just playing devil's? Okay, great. Anyways, back to the story that I've been trying to tell for 4.5 years.
Tell it.
I'm getting there.
Okay, do it.
Don't interrupt me.
Okay. I haven't been. You have been.
You just interrupted me right now. I was about to speak.
Hey, knock, knock.
What? Oh, what am I supposed to say? Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
I have a cow in my hands right now. If you want to see him,
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting cow.
Moo! He just threw a cow at me, by the way. This is assault.
I purposely tried to both miss you and the microphone because I spent forever trying to set that up. Anyways, if
Now I
I
have
could
the
finish
power.
this story. Oh, no. I got home. Don't you dare. I got home and I pulled into our parking lot. Ow, mother father. And I unload all of the groceries and stuff from the car. I'm sitting there in the parking lot and there's still this giant pool of water. I'm like, what the hell do I do? So I took out your rugs and I like aired them out. And I'm not even joking. I got a cup from upstairs and I tried scooping the water out because it was just sitting there. So I scoop, and I was just scooping the water out. And I let it sit. And I was like, you know what? Maybe it'll evaporate. Maybe it'll just go away.
Yeah.
I come back the next day and it is still soaked. And your car smelt awful.
Lovely.
It smelled so terrible. And there's still water there.
Lovely.
And the problem is that there was still water in the rugs that I put back in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seeped out of the rugs and collected in the base of the car again. So it looked like it just filled back up with water. I was like, where the hell is all this water coming from? That's happened so much with my car too. In fact, I think the rugs for my car for the past 5 months have been hanging on the railing of our front porch.
Yeah.
It's just been so long and they've been exposed to the elements so long that I don't know if I want to put it back.
Right.
So.
Whose fault is that?
Not mine. Not mine at all.
You could rewash them.
You should rewash your butt.
No.
Do you have any more stories about cars? Because we are almost out of time.
Yeah, we talked about it recently, and it's the only accident that I've been in that was my fault. It's the only thing I've ever hit or done, but I was in a driveway.
I remember this. At the second that you said it's the only one I've ever done, I was like, what is this? All right, I do remember this.
And so I had pulled out of this driveway every day for a year and never had any issues. Mm-hmm. I knew exactly where their mailboxes were. It was not like a street that there were cars on.
And you ran over a cat.
No.
Sorry. Did I interrupt your story again?
Yeah.
You seem really hurt by it.
I am.
Okay, why don't you continue?
I can't. I'm sad.
Aw.
I'm just kidding.
You want a hug?
No.
Why not?
Not from you.
Want a kiss?
No. Not from you.
All right.
Anyway, moving on with my story. So I was so used to, it got to the point where we're backing out of this driveway. I peeked behind me. I would look side to side just to make sure there was no one else coming home around me. And then I would just back out like normal because I knew this driveway like it was the back of my hand. And so backing out, it was midday. I had no excuse to not be able to see. And there was a truck there. There was a truck there that was parked on the side of the road when they had a perfectly empty driveway. So they kind of did it to themselves.
Oh, so you're trying to turn this back on them, even though you hit a stationary vehicle.
No, I know it was my fault. It was 100% my fault. Like there was no excuse. Like I literally just backed into it. Like it was midday. I was moving and they were not. But the people I was with, I got like 4 other opinions, and they were like, yeah, like that person should not have been parked there. But you know what? They were. So I went up to the people who ended up being the neighbors of this person's house, and I was like, hey, just so you know, like I hit this car. If you want to come check out the damage, and like we can trade insurances and like license plates and stuff. And they didn't want to. Like it was not bad. Like it was literally like there was a bump and a bruise on their truck, and my bumper was scraped a little bit. There was nothing wild because I was going 5 miles per hour, but nothing really came of it. But after that, I thought it would be funny if I put a Band-Aid on the back of my car. And so I did. And everyone around me thought it was silly. That Band-Aid is still on my car.
No, it's not.
It's a little decrepit now. It didn't fall apart until I moved here. But for it was like 2 or 3 years it stayed on my car.
No way.
Yeah.
Is it still on it right now?
It probably is still on my car, but it would be hard to see probably. I think most of the snow and scraping the snow has scraped the Band-Aid off as well. Right. But it was one of those waterproof Band-Aids, so it was really on there.
Dang.
Yeah.
When I thought of like silly car stories for you, I just think of my uncle hitting your car on Christmas.
See, my car is really banged up. Like, it was even dented a lot before I got it. But none of it has been my fault except for that little scrape on the back bumper and the Band-Aid. Like,
the first car that's, like, yours. That, like, becomes a part of you. Because you go to, like, your friend's house or, like, you drive around town and people see that car and they associate it with you. It's, like, an extension of yourself, right? Yeah. So, like, let's say you were driving through downtown here and you saw like a black SUV that looked like my car, you'd be like, "Oh, that's Brad. That's Jackson. That's Jackson." Which I have.
Yeah, I've crossed paths with many SUVs that look like yours, and I'm like, "Is that him?" And I'll look, and it's not you. It's some lady.
And I know that I'm going to be very sad, even though my car is a piece of crap. I'm going to be very sad when it's done, and I have a feeling that in the next year or two, we're going to have to say goodbye to our cars.
Yeah, I almost had to before I moved here because we know that the condition that my car is in.
Right.
And so my dad had been looking for a new car.
Right.
And so he was going to buy a new car and then have me buy his old car off of him and then sell my car to my brother because my little brother was also like, getting his license and getting a new car, and that just was like what made sense for my dad and my brother.
Right.
But it did not make sense for my emotional state. And so my dad brought up this idea, and I was like, I don't like that. Right. But I didn't want to influence my little brother's decision because if this was the car for him, then I would have passed it down and I would have done what I needed to. However, I went in my room and I cried for hours, and I texted all my friends and I was like, guys, Tilly's going to be no more. And I was just so heartbroken. I never thought I could be heartbroken over a car that I hated so much when I first got it. And it ended up not going through. Like, my brother was like, I don't really need a car right now, and I don't have like the money to like pay for it right now.
Right.
It was only a few days ago actually that my brother was texting me, and he was like, I love my car, by the way. Like, I'm so glad I didn't buy yours off of you.
Your car sucks.
And I was like, yeah, like it's that first car feeling. And I was like, I am also really glad you didn't buy my car off of me. And I told him, I was like, I was really emotional that day, but I didn't want to influence your decision.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh my gosh, I understand now. I'm so glad I didn't buy your car.
He gets it.
He gets it now. Shout out Eddie.
Shout out Eddie. That's it for me.
These were all the ways that we were forced to take the long way home.
Ooh. Yeah. And once again, Carmela knows how to end an episode by working in that branding.
Yeah. Well, of course.
Thank you so much for listening, watching on whatever platform it was. Give us a like, give us a follow. Every week we'll be here yapping about random stuff.
If you have a car story, feel free to tell us about it, because now I'm curious.
Yeah, and we definitely will not read it in the next episode.
Tell us your car's name, though. You can hate it, but also tell me your car's name.
You want to hear car names?
Yeah.
I would love to hear car names.
I feel like it's very interesting, and it tells a lot about the person and the car.
For sure. But I think that's it. That's it for me. You have anything else?
No.
Okay.
Until next week?
Until next week?
Maybe?
Maybe?
Possibly?
Probably.
Maybe.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.